Good morning, everyone. It's Wahome from Wahome Gitonga Coaching. Welcome to another session of Business Conversations, where we interview the most successful people in various industries, from best-selling authors to business entrepreneurs to coaches to influencers and so on. Today, I'm delighted to have with me Alison Warrior. And Alison is a renowned motivational speaker and helper, especially helping women find in their true path. And I'm delighted to have her with me. So without further ado, I will add on Alison. 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 Okay. Good morning, Alison. It's a pleasure to have you on the call today.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So we'll dive into the first question. Could you tell us about your background and what it is that got you into business in the first place?
Yes, certainly. So my background, I had a very tough upbringing as a child, and I've learned to be able to take everything that I had thrown at me as a child and a teenager. So basically from domestic family to being abused, bullied, broken relationships and everything like that. And I found myself at the age of 31 going through divorce, being a single parent, having pre-cancer. I left school with no qualifications, so I decided to go back to college and learn 1+1. 12 years later, I hold a BA honours in psychology and crime. I have been able to do counselling, mentoring, and help other ladies overcome issues that I had myself.
And what's been the idea behind your business? Like, what inspired you to create this business?
The fact that I had so much, I would say, compliments or comments from people that I've helped. So just friends in general, they all say to me, Alison, you always look for a positive way out of anything that's negative thrown at you. You've always looked for the positive. You're able to turn, a negative mindset into a positive mindset. And I kept hearing this, and from that, I was like, do you know what? I need to be able to help others. So that was the main start of my journey, was to be able to put in my life experience, what I'd gone through, what I was hearing, and the person I am. So I'm a person-centered. Basically, I empathize with people. It doesn't matter what background you're from or what age you are. I'm able to empathize. And having those qualities was something that I thought can't be wasted. And that's why I decided to take everything that I've learned, everything I've been through, and try and help other ladies, get through their journey.
And so obviously we live in a world obviously where there's lots of people who do the same kind of work or do similar kind of work. What would you say, in your opinion, sets your vision and brand different from other competitors?
It's quite a good question, and it was one of the ones that I think, do you know what, I don't try and make myself different from other people. I am who I am, and I think that's what I try and not sell but put across to people, because we've got to remember that it's not about money. It's not about, we all want to help other people, but sometimes people lose that and they look at it as a paycheck. I'm not like that, and I think that's why I'm unique. I want to help others because I've been there. I am the brand, and so that's why I think maybe that I'm different to other people, is the fact that if I say I've been through depression, I can help you with depression. I'm not just saying, it's not something I've read and I'm trying to put across to you. It's something that I've been through. If I'm saying I want to help you through abuse, it's because that's what I've learned. So whatever techniques I'm trying to offer to my clients, it's not because I've read it, all right, I've learned from books, obviously, but it's able to put that across. So I'm just me. That's maybe what separates me from others, is the fact that I am a real person and I'm honest, and I don't try and be something that I'm not. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, I think it is, like, you have that ability to resonate with the clients, that you've been in the same experience. And so you have the empathy, and because you had those experiences, then they feel way more comfortable and able to open up to you, and also to feel, that you've been through the same, and you're kind of like inspiring them because you've been through it and you've been able to come and make a success of yourself. And obviously, I think that's what, for companies that's just doing it for the money and they don't have that kind of experience, then it's very hard for them to build that rapport with potential clients because they're going to feel like they don't know, they haven't been there.
Yeah, I've watched your videos, and and what you were saying about confidence and being able to come forward. And I think, when you've actually been in a situation and you've experienced certain things, it does help you to have that empathy and that rapport with your client. And it's very important to have that one-to-one relationship on that same, level, not trying to be anything more than what they are, but just trying to help that person, because that is what you're offering. It's inspiration, motivation, affirmation, trying to get them to be determined to move forward in their lives. So yeah, it's very interesting levels, as in who does what, why they do it, and how they do it. But as long as you can always remember to be genuine and be the person that you are and help those that you are trying to help in the best way you can, that's all you can do.
But what do you think that you wish you would have known when you first started that you know now?
Oh, not to be too judgmental. Although I'm giving advice to ladies about self-confidence and inner happiness, it's also very important to not judge yourself. And I find that when we're trying to help people as a business, you do look at yourself. So I did at the beginning, I judged myself. Am I good enough for this? Who am I to do this business? Who will listen to me? I'm not famous. I'm just a person, a normal person on the streets, a normal lady. And it had all those self-negative. And what I'm teaching is changing the negative mindset into positive. So I had to learn myself. And that's what I say from the beginning to where I am now, is I wish I'd known the tools that I do now at the beginning and took my own advice at the beginning.
Yeah, it's a common thing for a lot of business owners to have that impersonator syndrome, where they doubt their own ability, they doubt themselves. And for some businesses, it can stop them from being able to actually still take action. But so what was it that allowed you to still, with all those beliefs, still be able to take action and not just procrastinate or not do anything in terms of taking your business forward?
I was asked this the other day, actually, by one of the ladies that is on my group. And she said to me, what keeps you going? What is it? And to answer your question, is the fact that I don't think to go through everything that I've been through is for nothing. That is, I haven't gone through everything I've gone through in life for nothing. I want to be able to use everything that I've learned, all the self-tools that I've learned, and be able to put that across to other people. So that's why I feel that I'm able to, to offer a little bit more and to go from what I've learned to where I am, to progress forward and keep going, is to use that motivation and that affirmation that I give myself and to turn that into determination. I always say, take a negative mad into a positive mad, and that is your motivation, your affirmation. Without them two, you won't have determination.
I like that. It's beautiful. I like that.
Thank you.
So what do you think was the biggest challenge that you faced when you first started, and how well did you overcome that?
I would say the lack of knowledge. From somebody who left school with no qualifications to going to university, finding that on the last year that that I had dyslexia. I found that I labeled myself, and that was, it's because of my dyslexia. Am I good enough? And all those self-doubts came back. So that's what I've had to, sorry, can you repeat the question again?
So it's basically like, what was the biggest challenge that you faced and how did you manage to overcome it?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge that I've had to face is learning that it's not about what I know or how can I, bring this across to someone, but just have the confidence that what I'm doing is the right thing to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. And so how would you say the business has grown over the past few months?
Oh wow. I have a group on Facebook called Believe, and it started from believe that we can get through this hell coronavirus.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Believe there's a better ending. And it started off 3 weeks ago with just me adding friends, and we're now up to nearly 300 ladies
Wow.
and it's amazing. 300 to some entrepreneurs out there, you may not think it's a lot, but to me, 300 ladies that we are helping every day, engaging, and that is also amazing for me. I've also got my brand name, Warrior of Inspiration, because it was really, I'm a brand. So I'm, you know, it's not, I'm selling a mobile phone, you know what that is. But to sell you, it's quite hard. So I had to think of a name, and I'm having that perfect name for your business. It's very important. So for me to have Warrior of Inspiration, that was a tick in my box. And now I have my brand as well. I have an image to go with that. So that's how I've progressed.
I think that's really good, because people, especially in business, forget to realize that they're selling themselves. They are the main product, that people are buying into working with them. And so it doesn't matter how good the business is, if you can't sell yourself or come across as congruent with your own message, then it's going to be very hard for people to then choose to want to buy with you, or go to you over not going over to another supplier. So I think you touched upon a good point there, that you know, you are the brand, because there's also the thing of like personal brand and business brand. So it's important to put yourself in a position where you stand for your brand and you're quite strong. And then also the fact that you've grown from zero, what was it, to 300 quite quickly. That's like, a lot of people don't have the patience to, you know, to take those steps.
Yeah.
So that kind of growth is very good. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. For my work as well, I work at a botanic gardens on the Isle of Wight, and I was front of house, and I was made to be ambassador. So I'm the face of the botanic gardens. And from that, I've had to learn about branding and everything. And, you know, you have to go out and you have to sell what it is, you know, your products. And I've learned that people buy people. And
100%. Yeah, I'd resonate with that 100%. That's what they invest in, 100% on that. So what do you think the unique skill that's allowed you to become as successful as you are? Like, what is it that has allowed you the skill that you've got to become successful?
I'd have to say it's being honest. Always remain honest. The skill that I have is I'm an honest person, and like I said before, I'm able to empathize. So if you can see somebody, you know, have that person-centered approach. So if you can have a person-centered approach and be able to empathize, that's a skill in itself, because to be able to walk in someone else's shoes, to be able to get yourself out of your mindset and how it affects you. You know, it's not about you, it's about the person and the client that you're working with. So you have to remember that that person's coming to you for a reason. They have feelings, they have emotions. So if you can stop thinking about business, or how much this person going to bring me, or, you know, where's this going to go? What lead is this going to, if you can forget all that and just concentrate on that person who's with you, that is a skill in itself. And not a lot of people have that skill. Yeah, that skill, that's a good skill, I think.
Yeah, I think, people underestimate the value of relationship capital and how vital it is in business, because if you can't build strong relationships with your clients and other suppliers and stuff, then you're going to struggle, because you need to have that bit where that ability where people can really see the message coming from you as the brand, and also they can then feel that they can trust in you and feel that, you know, you understand them. Because I think that's the most important thing. Like, some businesses don't focus on what the client want, they focus on what they want. I think that's where a lot of businesses go wrong.
Yeah, definitely. I've always said from this, when I decided to put all my experiences and, you know, everything that I've learned myself, and when I've decided to go into business and to help others get through traumas and, you know, turning negative into positive and victim to victor mindset to be able to be a warrior, not a worrier. When I went into all of that, and I want to learn, you know, teach people how to turn their fear into fuel. When I went into that, I went into that not with a price tag. I went into that with determination and a feeling inside that, I know it sounds very cliche, but I was put on this earth to help other women, to help other people learn and progress, and to be able to find that, you know, that self, that inner happiness. For me, who is confident and motivated, if you knew me years back to where I am now, I would never ever dream of starting a business, never, you know. So for me to be able to be here today and talk to you and be interviewed by you, it's an amazing. And that's not me being very, you know, oh, look at me, I'm blowing my own trumpet. That's you know, telling you you can do it. You know, you can do it. Anybody can have that self mindset.
I think that's important, because a lot of people think, when with people who are successful, that they've not gone through the same kind of experience as everyone else, or they've not faced the same kind of hurdles. And, you know, you hear plenty of times of people who've gone from nothing to then being major successes in very short periods. And I think I like the fact you're saying this, because it stresses that anyone can do this. You know, you don't have to, you know, as long as you have that determination and motivation, then, and you believe in your vision, then anyone can be a success if you also combine that with hard work.
Exactly. And that's all it is. You have to, you know, you can have an idea, you can have an image, but to make it real and to set that goal and to make those goals come true, yeah, as long as you've got the main ingredients, but you do need the determination to make it progress from something that you've thought about to actually, you know, get it going.
Yeah. But what do you think motivates you and is driving you forward right now?
I would say that at the moment, the way the world has gone, I'm more motivated and determined to help, because it's really affected a lot of people in many ways. Domestic abuse is on the increase. There's children out there that usually have, I used to be a mentor and I used to be a behaviour support worker, and I know from that experience that children who are at school, when they're on holidays and they come back to school, if they've got behavioural or emotional problems, then that's raised. So at the moment, I think what motivates me is the fact that, you know, there is a need for this, for someone. The more people are out there that are able to help and offer advice and just listen, all the better.
I totally agree with you there. And so, what's been the key to building strong relationships with clients, would you say?
I would say it's just engaging, being there. You know, a simple hello every morning, just hi, how are you doing? Not just getting in contact with someone and then, you know, if you don't hear from them, you forget about them. I would say it, you know, to keep going and to keep engaging, to be a person that they can relate to and know that if they need help, you're going to be there. They don't have to think, oh, I've got to wait a few weeks until she's not busy. You know, she's there no matter what.
Yeah, I think, again, people underestimate the importance of engaging with your clients and actually increasing communication, so that they know that you're providing a service for them, that you're there to listen and provide answers to their problems. And when people cut off that engagement and communication, then it's very easy for clients to feel, okay, this person doesn't get me, or I'm going to go elsewhere because I want someone that's, you know, understands me, understands the pains I'm going through. So I think when you mentioned engagement, it's very vital for most businesses to increase the engagement.
I totally agree. Yeah, especially now, you know, the way things are at the moment, we don't know how long this is going to progress to, you know, and like I said, it's a worrying times, very worrying times. And if we can help others through this in any way we can, then that's only a positive. Like Captain Moore, you know, well done, Captain Moore. I had to put him in there. But how amazing is he? He's bringing so much motivation, inspiration. You know, he's turned a negative into a positive. One person who's nearly 100, fantastic. You know, if we can do that, brilliant.
I totally agree with that. Like, he has been inspiring. So what advice would you give people who are looking to create a business but are too scared to take that first step, and they're stuck at the stage of either procrastinating or allowing excuses like a lack of funding or lack of time hold them back?
First of all, they're allowed to have those thoughts. It's all natural. It's a natural thought. You know, it's self-belief, really. It comes to self-belief. And they're using those reasons because they're lacking that self-confidence. Once they have that self-confidence and think, no matter what, I may not have any money. You know, I started writing a book, and it's from 24p to a successful businesswoman. Now, I started with 24p in the bank, and I'm not amazing successful businesswoman. You know, I'm not like Oprah Winfrey, but I started that book, writing that book, before I even started my group, my page, or anything. You've got to have that determination. And if they are sitting there saying, oh, but I haven't got any funds, there's YouTube out there, there's Google out there. You don't need funds. You've got social media. There's ways around it. Google, YouTube. You know, just search, ask. There's people out there, there's groups that we're on that help, you know. It doesn't need to be, I think people think when they go into business, they need capital. You don't need capital. There's a way around things, you know, there is a way around it. To keep going, I would say to keep going, write down your ideas, keep at your ideas, change those ideas. If they don't work out, why didn't they work out? And work on them. Don't give up. Do not give up. Just keep going and going and going. You may not be here and you may be here, but it's slow steps. As long as, you know, to get to the top of the staircase, you have to take the first step.
Totally agree with you there. And I think that's what people again fail to realize, like, of being resourceful and knowing that they're different kind of resources. You know, like if there was a lack of funding, there's plenty of government schemes that are providing new businesses money in terms of grants. And then, as you said, like, there's so many people who have used social media now, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, to really get their message out and grow to a point where they are now in a position to, through those followers, have gotten more funds, they've got more support, and they've gotten like a strong brand. And so you don't need to rely on having, I don't know, 10 million or 10 grand in the bank to start a business. As long as they are able to adapt, you know, it's just about getting your message out there. Because I think what I'd say is if you don't get your message out there, people don't know about you.
Sorry?
If you don't get your message out, then people don't know about you.
Well, exactly. And, you know, we've got to understand how lucky we are. Years back, we didn't have social media. Years back, we didn't have the internet. Years back, it was very, very hard work. To be successful business person, it's very hard. You have got it easier today. There is ways around it, you know, and if you're still having that self-disbelief, then maybe look at your business and think, is it the right business that I'm in? Because if you're not passionate about what you do, and if it doesn't get you up every day with passion, I want to do this, I want this business to go to the next level, then maybe it's not the right business. Maybe you have to look at what you're doing, and is it the right thing that you're doing? Maybe your business is something that you never even went into. There's people out there went into business of one thing, and they ended up doing something completely different because they've learned something through it, and they're more determined and had more excitement to do this than what they actually started out from. So just keep at it.
Yeah, that's very good advice. I totally agree with that. And so what do you think is the most common reason why most people fail in business or give up?
Again, it's just mirroring what I've said before. You know, a lot of people, if you haven't got that determination, if you haven't got that passion, if you don't get excited, if you don't want to find ways of making your business work, then that's how I think a lot of businesses fail. It's the fact that they're not putting in enough effort. But you don't want to overdo it as well. You need to have a lot of self-care, learn steps and processes. So take a break, you know, take a break from what you're doing, plan what you're doing, and achieve those goals. And I think that's why a lot of businesses fail, is the fact they put too much high standards from the start. They're like, I want to achieve this by the time I achieve this, and if they don't get it, they think, oh, you know, I'm obviously not a business person. No, there may be other reasons for that. You know, there may be other factors for that. So don't be too hard on yourself. That's what I would say, and just keep going at it. And get a mentor as well. If you can get someone to coach you, do it. Because, you know, other entrepreneurs, other business people, they've been there. They've learned the strategies. They've learned what there is or what it needs to happen to get to a certain level. So if you can, try and ask somebody, you know, go on to business groups. Like I said, go on to Google, YouTube it. Always, always, always try and research and just take what you've learned and put it together and try and expand it. But don't be too hard on yourself. If it hasn't worked, like I said, maybe it's not the business that you thought, and maybe that's why they fell, but try again.
I think you've highlighted two important things there. The first one I picked up was around patience, and like a lot of people are expecting this get rich quick kind of idea that they'll go into business and then in a couple of months they'll be loaded and rolling money. And it doesn't work like that, because even like the most successful businesses, like whether you're looking at Facebook or Google, it's taken them time to become to where they are right now. And people need to have that patience to know and just enjoy the process. It doesn't matter if it's a year or 2 years, as long as you stick at it and enjoy that process and you're doing the hard work, and the success will come. But you have to have that patience. And also the other thing was around a coach. And I think a lot of people underestimate the value of a coach, because we have that opinion that we can do it on our own. We don't want to look as if we don't know what we're doing. And so sometimes a coach, they feel like, oh, I don't want to look as if I don't know what I'm doing. And a coach can make me feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And then also there's a cost. They're not willing to invest in themselves to have that coach. And so, and like you said, a coach will help you avoid the same pitfalls that they've made, especially if you're getting a coach that's been there, done that. And I think like it's important for any business person to have a coach.
Definitely. I totally agree with you. And I do also, I agree with you. And I was the one that said about having a coach, but I also understand how it is on the other side for someone who is starting out, who has got no capital, got no savings, and you go on and you get into these business courses and stuff, and you get so far, and then all of a sudden they give you a price, you know, £1,000 or £400 to go here and do this. And you're shocked by it, and straight away it's like, well, how can you get the money? You may be able to get the money, and you know you've only got enough to get a bag of chips or a loaf of bread in the cupboard, you know. So I've also been on that level, that end of the scale of, yes, I need a coach, but at the moment I can't get a coach, I can't afford a coach, but when I do, or how can I save up to get one, I will, you know. So don't feel hard on yourself if you can't afford a coach at the moment or a mentor at the moment. That is fine. You know, there is other ways around it, but always, if you can, try and save, even if it's just a little bit, or think about how can you progress to the point that you will be able to get a coach in the long run, because like you said yourself, valuable information.
I totally agree with you. Okay, totally agree with you there. So we can't not talk about COVID-19. So COVID-19 has obviously changed the landscape for a lot of businesses. It's caused businesses to go out of business. It's caused some businesses to lose finances, and it's caused a lot of people to skip about the marketing and make cutbacks in certain areas. So how have you managed to adapt to COVID-19, and what is it helping you to stay competitive in these times?
I would say for me, the starting out in a business and the level I am at the moment, if anything, it's actually been a positive for me, because and for a lot of businesses as well, not just for someone that's just starting out, but I've heard as well from watching entrepreneurs, business people, how this time of being at home is turning that negative into a positive, and actually making use of that time and putting more effort into their business. So That's how I've coped, is every day now. At the beginning, I have my up and down days, and everyone will. It is an emotional roller coaster. There's days where you just want to stay in your PJs and you just want to eat chocolate and you want to become a bear and hibernate. But the days that you don't, that's the days that I've taken this situation and thought, right, I'm going to use it in my best way that I can. And that is to invest and learn more about my business and how can I expand it? How can I improve it? How can I help others? So I would say for me, the COVID-19 has given me that opportunity to do that, because otherwise I would have been at work, doing my other job. Yeah. So it's given people time to reflect and to maybe use that time, try and use this time as a positive, not a negative, even though it's very negative what's going on. We have to try and remember to keep that motivation going.
So we've seen like a trend of businesses right now, like going towards more online stuff with all these online programs, online courses, and online resources. So how has technology played a factor for you right now with this in this lockdown?
The thing that you've got to remember with technology is we all rely on technology. I was saying earlier about years ago, to have a business, it was really difficult because you didn't have social media, you didn't have emails. You had the book, you had to go to the book and learn everything you had and then do the hard way. So we all rely on technology so much for business. And the way that it's helped me is I'm able to have the resources that I need. I'm able to go to technology and social media to engage with people and to also promote what I want and how I want to help people. So with technology and social media, it's the fact that without it, we'd crumble. If your emails went down today, if your internet went down today, and it went down today for weeks, how are you going to carry on with your business? Have you got a backup plan?
I feel what we're seeing is the importance of increasing your communication with clients right now, and the fact that a lot of people are scared of the fact that we're in this lockdown, but there's a lot of opportunities right now because everyone's at home, and so if you can provide a product or a solution, or even like a free book or an audio track that provides us a solution to people's problems right now, then there's plenty of opportunities. And even with marketing, I've noticed a lot of businesses scaling back their marketing.
Yeah.
But right now on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, it's the cheapest time to advertise because no one's advertising. And so I think like a lot of businesses need to avoid doing cutbacks and actually increasing their communication and marketing. And how are you finding in terms of your business the importance of increasing marketing and communication?
I've totally taken on board everything that's been going on and listening to what people's been saying, in the fact that they're at home, they're bored, they need motivating, everything. So what I did is I devised a booklet, and I was able to give that booklet through a challenge, make it a little bit more exciting in my women's group, and it just gave that person something to look forward to and to do something and to interact. And I was able to help them as well through the information in my booklet. So that's how I've taken on board what's going on. I've been able to use that. And yeah, I think, at this time, there's so much, like you said, with the ads, the Facebook ads, the Instagram and everything. Use what we have, what resources we have out there. Definitely use them, expand on them. And, at the moment, we all want to see an end to this, but reality, we all don't know the end. So it's how do we go each day and keep progressing as a business? And the only way we can do that is through social media and through the internet at the moment. So it's a great resource.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. And what do you think right now? Because a lot of people have become demotivated and they've not been as productive. But what is it that's allowing you to stay motivated when things get hard like now?
Like I said, I'm being honest with you, there's days that I'm not motivated. And here's me trying to help people to stay motivated, but you've got to know the signals. So what I'm saying with that is you're allowed to have a day or 2 days of, you know, being, like I said, a bear and hibernating and eating rubbish and not wanting to get out of your bed or not wanting to get dressed. But as long as that day, 2 days, doesn't go into 3 or 4, because that's when the signals start that it's going from having an off day and feeling unmotivated to depression. And then from depression, you'll start saying, I don't want to go outside. And then it's anxiety. So it's knowing your limits, knowing the signals. So for me to keep motivated is I get up every day and I do my group, which I love. I do my business. There's free courses as well. We're saying about social media, and at the moment there's so many courses out there free being offered. Take that chance. I'm doing about 3 courses. I get up and I've got 1 book for this, 1 book for that. Active mind, active soul. So yeah, that's what I'm doing to be motivated, is I'm just taking on board what I can. If I feel like I have to have a low day, I'm having a low day. If I feel like I'm having a great day, I have a great day, and just go with it. And don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty if you've having a low day. You're allowed that. But as long as you know to get yourself from that to a positive place and then carry on.
I think, again, you've highlighted 2 things there for me. One is the importance of education and how people underestimate, again, the value of developing themselves, like constantly reading, listening to podcasts, doing some kind of free courses. We need to be using this time to work on our weaknesses or continue to grow ourselves. And then I think you also highlighted, again, the same thing of it is okay to have a day where you just sit in your PJs, give yourself that permission, and not to feel that, oh, you've got to be doing your business every day. You can have a downtime. And like you said, as long as you don't allow that downtime to progress into 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days, then it's fine. And I think that's the importance of knowing that we are human at the end of the day. And I think that some people at times, business people, tend to forget that they can still be human.
Yeah, it's very a lot of business people say something, but they don't actually act on it. So I've heard a lot of business people say, you've got to have self-worth, you've got to have health, look after yourself, because otherwise your business won't look after it. If you don't look after yourself, then your business won't progress. But they don't do that. They overwork and then they crash. So it's very important as a business starting out or being at the top of your game. It's very important to remember the tools that you've learned, that you're teaching, and take them on board for yourself. Because don't forget, what you are offering somebody and what you're trying to teach somebody is very valuable. But you need to know those tools. You need to know what you are teaching, and you need to practice that. Because if you're not going out there and offering a positive mindset, yet you're trying to say we need a positive mindset, all you'll do is crash and burn. You will crash and burn at the end of the day, and that's no good. And people will know that. They can pick up. If you're a people person, and you're engaging with people, people will pick up that you're not right, that you're being false. They want who they're in business with, who they've come to have help from. They want you. And that is someone who is inspiring, someone who's got motivation, and who has got the tools to get them through. And if you can't get yourself through, how are you going to help others? It's very important to keep yourself positively going.
I think you brought up congruency there. I think that is definitely very important. So what would you say has been the biggest failure in the last year, and why do you think that happened to you?
I would say overthinking. Can I, self-doubting. Am I the right? Who am I to start a business? How would I do it? I need money. I can't go into business. I haven't got any money. I haven't got any savings. All those tools that I know now, all the stuff that I've learned, I didn't know at the beginning. And if I knew those at the beginning, I'd be a lot further than how I am now.
It's amazing how like one of the biggest obstacles for our success is really ourselves, and how it all comes from like our way of thinking and the beliefs that we have, and we can be a prisoner to our own mind, and that can cause us to not take the steps that we need because we're full of all these doubts of like I'm not worthy or I can't do this, and it's like a lot of times they don't have any actual truth or substance to them, but we allow these kind of beliefs to run the show and to stop us. So it's interesting how you notice those in yourself, but yet you are still able to act, and I think that's inspiring.
Thank you. It's because I've learned from a young age. You know, it's not just I've had something happen to me last year. You know, I became homeless at the age of 6 because all of a sudden, you know, my mum and dad, we were living in a lovely home, and then age of 6 I became homeless, and then from that, you know, I was bullied at school because I didn't have the right shoes, and then we didn't have food and heating, and then from that it was broken relationships because I didn't know what true love was, and then there was abuse, and it's, you know, all this, and from all that I've been able to take all those negatives and use it as power, you know, and use it as determination, and say, you will not win, you will not bear me down, I'm back, I'm stronger, and you know what, everything I've gone through, fine, I've went through it, but I'm able to help others overcome it because I've overcome it. And those self tools that I've learned over the years, like I said, it didn't just happen yesterday, it's happened step by step by step, and I'm at that point now where I'm able to say I'm the most confident, happiest mentally that I've ever been. And you know, that is inspiring, and that's not me being big-headed, that's what I want women to see, that you can do it. And men, you know, I work with women because I can empathize more with women. I'm not just saying, you know, men don't go through it, when men go through it as well, but for me that's where I work with is women. So for women and men to get through it, amazing, and we can all get there.
That's beautiful. I like that. And what do you think right now is the biggest challenge facing the industry?
I would say the way the way it's been hit. You know, there's a lot of businesses out there that overnight they've not planned for it, and overnight it's hit. You know, there's people out there it's not just, you know, this coronavirus that's gone around, it's not just hit one area, it's hit the whole world. You know, it's not just hit one type of person or one type of business, it's hit everybody. So yeah, I would say that is a major thing at the moment, is how it's hit economically. You know, people are struggling big time, and yes, there's furloughs, and yes, there's government help, but there's still no answers. There's still no, when is it coming through, how is it coming through, how long have you got to wait? And then when you try and ring up and ask about universal credits, or you try and ring up and ask about grants, you're on that phone for days. You're on a waiting list for days, and that's very difficult at the moment. Very difficult for people to get the answers they need straight away.
So I know you touched on this before, but how are you as a business managing to adapt to these difficult circumstances right now?
For me, I'm in that position where I haven't had to worry about office. You know, I haven't got an office. My room is my office. You know, I haven't got the overheads. I haven't got bills to think about. So for me, it hasn't hit me in that way, but I was at that process of taking, you know, I said there's different steps. So I was in that process of taking this step, you know, from here to this step. So I was going to do a motivational speaking, you know, going out and doing motivational talk and having my programs and opening my workshops. And then this happened. I even went from me talking to having motivational speakers come with me and holding an event, a seminar. That didn't happen. So where I was at my peak, I was like ready to go, and I was planning, and I had everything. It was, no, you're not. And that's why I've had to rethink redigest and think, right, well, instead of saying, oh, well, that's it, I can't do it now, I thought, no, how can I do it? How can I use this time? And it is, thankfully, through the internet, which, like you said, a lot of businesses are having to go down that route.
I totally agree with you there. And are there any resources that have really helped you along the way to get to the point where you are right now?
There's a lot of resource. A lot of companies at the moment are having so many offers out there, and some of them you're quite skeptical because you think, wait a minute, that's a little bit too good to get, be true. So always read the terms and conditions, guys. Always, because I'm sure you have, and I'm sure other people have. You just want to get to the good point, don't you? You just want to get to the present. You don't want to unwrap it, or you just want to get there. And a lot of us, we just click, click, click. Always read term and conditions. So I've managed to get an amazing program, and it was cut from £900 odd down to £97. It's my last bit of savings that I had, but I was going to use it wisely. So I've used that, and it's amazing. I'm learning so much. Also a video, what's it called? Video one-to-one, that's really good. That was on special offer. So there's so many resources out there. I'm just going on and I'm clicking everything and I'm getting everything. I'm absorbing. I'm going out there fishing and I'm catching nets of information. I'm using that.
So, I definitely feel that
is out there, totally. So there's so many, I can't name them all, I'm so sorry, but yeah, there's so many for me. I'm grabbing every resource I can, especially the ones that are going for like $1 and stuff like this.
I think that's the way people have to be. Like, you have to really be looking to get as much information and educate yourself as much, because like you said, there's so many different resources out there, free ones as well right now, and now's the best time to really look to work on your weaknesses and really even improve strength you've got. Like, you can still learn more, you can still develop yourself in an area that you think you're strong at. And I think right now if you use your time wisely, I think the people who are doing loads of reading and developing themselves, when this COVID ends, because it's not going to last forever, they'll be the ones that come out of this with all the tools and equipments to be really successful and make big progress. And the people who are just sat watching Netflix or not actually doing anything that's really helping them are going to suffer. I think that's going to be the major difference.
I totally agree with you. There is that what shall I do mindset. Shall I sit back and let the world just go by, and then as soon as it's over I go out there and I try? Well, too late. You should have been trying, while you've got that time. Sitting back and watch Netflix, but not every day. And there's too many people out there that will do that, and they're the ones, like you said, that are not going to go out and thrive and progress and be stronger than what they were before this happened. And there's people like you and me and other business people out there that want to progress and make the business a success, and they're the ones that get up every day. They're the ones that as soon as they get up, they're reading, they're doing their courses, they're engaging with other entrepreneurs, they're learning from other people, and most importantly, they're engaging with their clients. They're getting up in the morning going, hi ladies, how are you today? And listening to them and not thinking, oh, how much money can I get from this one? None, bye. There's a difference.
I totally agree with that. I think that's beautiful. There's that big difference. So we know why you're successful. What are you not good at? Give us one.
Having enough belief in myself. I know it. Everyone says to me, Alison, you always underestimate yourself. You don't believe in yourself enough. And I am confident. But even like on my CV, I didn't realise, I showed my friend my CV, and she went, you've got a BA in psychology and crime. I was like, yeah. And she goes, you've got a foundation degree. You've done counselling. You've done law. I was like, yeah. She went, so why is it at the bottom? Why isn't that information at the top? So I always try and put myself not down, but I don't pick myself up enough, and I'm learning that. So that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that I am successful. I am brave enough to do what I'm doing. I have got the right tools. And even if I don't say the right things, the right way, that I think people should hear it or it should be said, it doesn't matter, because it's me who's saying it, and that's what's more important. It's not what I'm saying or how I'm saying, it's who's saying it, and that's what I'm learning about myself. So for me, I self-doubt that. I self-doubt sometimes that if I'm saying the right thing, and I shouldn't. I should just be more positive and more self-confident and like more assertive.
I think it goes on to a point that, you know, even the most successful business people, they still have their self-doubts. You know, it still shows, we all still have this lack of belief, there's doubts that still come up. But the thing is, what sets business people like you and other successful business owners is the fact that you don't let those doubts hold you back. You're still out there taking action, you're still engaging with your clients, and you're still putting yourself out there to spread your message. So with some people, those same beliefs will just stop them, and they'll just go back to bed, or they'll just turn to things like Netflix or eating junk food. And I think that's a major difference.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I haven't gone through everything I've gone through for nothing, and then decide to put that into a business for me, just sit back and say, actually, no, I'm not going to do it today, or, you know, I give up. That's not me. You know, whatever's been thrown at me, I've always taken it and said, right, I'm going to use that, whether it be a negative or a positive. I've always just tried to make it a little bit more and go that a little bit further. And I think that's a good attribute to have, and to be able to help others have that is a good, you know, I think a lot of business people as well, like you're saying, some people, no matter how successful you are, you have your self-doubts. But the thing is, the reason we have those self-doubts is how other people look at you as a business person. And that's the thing. So it's the key to not let how other people think about you or expect from you to make you who you are. Always be who you are. And no matter what people expect or want from you or think that you should be, that is, regardless to that, it's who you are. Always be true to yourself.
Totally agree with that. So I've got two questions for you in one. So the first one is, what next can we expect from you going forward? And the second after that is, how can people work with you if they want to get in touch with you?
Right. Going forward, what's next? I want to expand my belief group. I want to expand that for women. It's just a fun group. That's not my business. That is not my business. That's just a fun side for women to interact and help each other and inspire each other through all this. So I want to help women do that. So yeah, that's fantastic for that. Business side, I need to get up and running my webpage. I need to start putting everything that I've been devising into a program now. I want my workshops to happen. Obviously, we can't do it, but we can do it on video. So I want to engage people with video chats. So it's taken the next level. That's what I need to do now. I need to say, right, I know what I'm doing. I know what I've got to do now. I've got to do it. Now I'm going to do it. You know, so that's my next stage. For people who want to work with me, I offer, as I said at the beginning, I offer a way of being able to take the negative mindset, turn it into a positive. So some people don't understand, but a lot of our thinking is through our subconscious mind. So 10% of what we do is what everyone thinks gets us to do it. But it's actually the 90%. And we've got to learn the 90%. So it's like the iceberg effect. And that's what I want to try and teach people. So whatever's on top, we have to look at underneath, delve underneath. And that's what I'm offering. So it's workshops, mentoring, video calls. There's so much. My ebook. And to do that, at the moment, it's just email me. And that's on a.kelly10@hotmail.co.uk. Get in contact with me. And once I get going on to the next step, then obviously we'll be able to go through my webpage and my book that I'm writing. But my main goal, because, you know, I think some people, when they're in business, they're frightened of having that big image, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so you've got some people saying, oh, don't aim too high because you're going to fall. And you got some people saying, why are you only aiming for the stars? Go to the moon and jump over. Yeah. So for me, I'd like to do webinars, seminars, retreat. I want to hold a retreat for women, warriors together, warriors inspiration together. That would be amazing. That would be awesome.
There's a like exciting projects you've got coming up, and I think like I can definitely see you fulfilling those projects, and it's exciting to see how your business evolves over the next year or so. So what I was going to say is, like, is there any final piece of advice that you would give people out there wanting to start a business or a project?
I would say the final piece of advice to you, if you are wanting to start a business or a project, is to look at what you're doing, why you're doing it. Is it for you or is it for other people? Because it has to be something that you really want. It has to be something that you're passionate about. And if you are passionate and you want it, don't think of the negatives, of the why can't I do it. Think of why you can do it, why you want to do it. And then just progress. Just make plans. Resource. Look at those resources what are out there. If you haven't got the capital, there is help out there, you know. And not give up. Don't give up. If you're passionate about it, do it. It may not happen overnight. Don't think, oh, I want to start a business. I've got a good idea. I'm going to do it and it's going to happen overnight. I don't know if everybody know about the KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken Man. You know, he started out, it never happened. I think he was like 65 before it actually happened. He became 7-Up, the drink 7-Up. Yeah. Why is it called 7-Up? Because 6 times it failed. On the 7th time they got through. So don't give up. Just keep going at it. Don't matter how long it's taking. If it takes a week, 2 weeks, 2 months, that's fine. Just keep at it. Don't give up, you know, and always use mentors out there, coaches out there. If you have got the finances, do invest in those, because I tell you what, they have been there, they've learnt the ropes, and they'll be able to tell you how to get further.
Thank you. And I'll finish on this, that right now use the time to really educate yourself and get as much information and take advantage of all the free resources that's being offered by many companies right now. And so it's a great way to really develop yourself and use your time wisely. Don't fall into habits that are not serving you, and actually look at how you can use this time to really progress and develop yourself. So it's been a pleasure to have you on here, Alison. We wish you the best in your endeavours going forward, and we'll look forward to seeing how you grow over the next year. Otherwise, that's the end of Confidence Coaching, and we'll see you all soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye, everyone.